everyone, it's Julie. I'm going to be starting another crochet project here. I am going to be making this seal. It's out of the same book as the lion that's in our introduction. So I'm going to be making this, at least starting it today. Okay, and the materials that you need are your yarn. They call for Lion brand Vanna, like Vanna White, her choice baby yarn, but I'm just going to be using some scrap brown that I have. You're also going to need size G hook, crochet hook, a stitch marker, which is this little circle thing here. They come in all kinds of little packages, but I have this one here. I like the ones that close because they end up, like if it takes several days to do your projects, they don't fall out of your project if it gets bumped or moved around or whatever. Okay, let's see, calls for large-eyed blunt needle, which I don't have here. It's basically a sewing needle, but for yarn. That's to sew it all together and to sew like the legs and the arms on and to stitch the nose. I'm going to be stitching eyes instead of using the little eyes that you can buy in packages, just because if these are used played with or whatever by babies, they tend to stick things in their mouth, and I would feel awful if I knew that a baby, like if one of the eyes came off and a baby swallowed it. They're tiny, but I don't want to take the chance. So I'm just going to be doing, tying yarn for eyes. I've done it in the past. That's usually how I do my eyes. So it does call for the eyes, but I am not going to be using them. Okay, you need fiberfill stuffing, which I have a gigantic bag here. Usually when I go to garage sales, I'll pick up scraps that other people have, thrown away or whatever. And then a small amount of black yarn for the nose, which I have in my basket here. So, and I'm going to be using yellow for the eyes. So this might end up being a 2-part or a 3-part project. Usually it takes me a couple days to do these. So with me, I guess, doing it on, video, it's probably going to take a little bit longer. So I'm not going to be talking through part of it, but I will read the instructions. I guess, yeah. Anyway, okay, the note on here, it says you're working in continuous rounds, just like I did with one of my previous projects, the granny square. You'll be working in rounds, except this is going to go around like a hat. Okay, it says do not join it or turn it unless you're instructed to. So this is a stitch that I have not shown everyone. It's called a single crochet 2 together or a single crochet decrease. So I'll be teaching you that along the way. Okay, so the first thing we make is the head and the body. The next we're going to be making, let's see, the front flippers and then the back flippers, and then we'll sew it all together. Okay, so for the very first thing, we have to chain 2. So I'm going to go ahead and make my slip knot. Then we'll chain 1, chain 2. Okay, for round 1, it says to work 4 single crochets in the second chain from your hook. So that would be, since there's only 2, the very beginning one. So 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, It says to place your marker for the beginning of the round, and then you move the marker up as each round is completed. Okay, so we're going to open this up, insert it into our loop, and then hook it. So then if we walk away right here and someone pulls on it, it's still going to be stuck. So we could just loosen it up and stick our hook right back in. Okay, now that was round 1. So we're going to round 2. So I'm going to move my counter up to round 2. Okay, so for round 2, we do 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then single crochet in the next one after that, and we do that twice. Gosh, this is awful dark. Hopefully you can see it well. Okay, so our first one is way over here. And I mixed one of the threads here. So 1, 2, and I can see already this is going to be too dark even for me to work. So I will stop the video. I will go and get a different color ball yarn, and I will be right back. All right, I'm back. I grabbed an orange ball, a little bit more black yarn, and I also grabbed my needle. This is the large-eyed needle. Okay. And I discovered that if you use the center hole, it doesn't make as much noise when you're pulling on the yarn to get it out. So I will be using that instead. So chain 2, four single crochets in that first chain. Okay, then we mark it, which is probably the hardest part for me because my fingers don't always work properly. As I'm getting older, I noticed it's getting more difficult. Okay, so then round 2 is where we left off. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, this one right here. So remember it said to do 2 single crochets in the first one. So 1, 2, 1 in the next. Okay, then it said to repeat that, do it twice. So 1, 2, and then 1 in the next stitch. Okay. And then we're right back to the beginning of our row, which is this one here that we marked. Okay. So it says to take it out of there and put it here. So we just move it up. That's what the instructions said right here. Place your marker at the beginning of each round. So we turn the page. Okay, we're going to be on round 3. So round 3 says to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then we do that twice, so we'll have 8 of them. So 1, 2, in that first one, 1 in the next one, which is 3, 1 in the next one, which is 4, then we'll do 2 in this one because we're repeating the pattern. So that's 5 and 6, and then a single one, 7, single one, 8. And we're right back to that first stitch on our last round. Okay, so we will move this up. Come on, don't fight me. There we go. I don't know if you've noticed, but I talk to inanimate objects. Always been a bad habit. Okay, so now we're on round 4. Turn our counter up. Round 4 says to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch and then single crochet in the next 3. And you repeat that series twice. Okay, and that should be 10 stitches. And that, I believe, is the nose. Okay, so we will move up our marker. Okay, roll up our counter to number 5. Row 5, 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then single crochet in the next 4. And you do that twice, and you should have 12. And 12. Okay, and counter up 1, so we're on row 6. Row 6, it says to single crochet around, so you will still have 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, move our marker up. Okay, row 7. Row 7 says to single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochets in each of the next 4 stitches, single crochet in the last 7. So single crochet in the next, 2 single crochets in each of the next 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then single crochet in the last 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We met up with our marker. Good. It's always good when you're following the pattern, which I have done this one, this particular seal, once or twice. So move it up to 8. Now it says rounds 8 through 10, we single crochet in each stitch around, which the last row said we will have 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, now I have to do that 2 more rows. So after I get done with those rows, I will get back to you. Okay, so row 11. Now in the book, before we get to row 11, it says, following the package directions, attach your safety eyes to the face. But remember, I am going to be using yarn to make eyes. And I'll probably just make little slits for eyes, or an X maybe. So we'll take out the crochet hook since I have my marker there. Tighten up that loop a little bit. So now we got to figure out where the eyes are supposed to go. So I think that's the lump for the forehead. So I'm thinking right here. I'll make them a little bigger because it looks like it's sinking in pretty good. That looks better. That looks more like an eye. Okay. So now I'll turn it inside out. Make a little knot. Let's see, got my yarn wrapped around the orange there. Now you don't want to pull these too tight. Grab my scissors, snip, snip. Okay, turn the face back out. other side, you're kind of guessing. So I'm going to put it right here. Let's see if I can get that be a little more, two lines together instead of the orange hole in the middle. All right, almost looks like he's got tusks down here. I'll show you how I fix that. Okay, but we'll knot the eye here. Remember to keep it kind of loose. All right, so what I do, if there's loops here, I take the crochet hook, just try to wiggle them into the inside somehow. See how that one kind of disappeared? And this is actually the tail from where we began. It ended up showing on the outside. So you just kind of tuck them in, and there's his face. So hopefully I have that in the right area. If not, we will know shortly. Okay. So I'm gonna put my hook back in, go back to number 11. Okay, single crochet in the next 5 stitches, single crochet 2 together, which is that new stitch. Okay, then single crochet in the next 6, 2 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, single crochet in the last stitch. So, okay, so the first thing we do is single crochet in the next 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then we do a single crochet. It says SC2TOG, which is that decrease. It's a single crochet decrease. So you insert the hook into the stitch. Okay, draw up a loop, insert the hook into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, and then draw through all 3 loops on your hook. Okay. So then it says single crochet in the next 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, 2 single crochets in each of the next 2. So 1, 2, single crochet the last stitch. Okay. Now I should tell you, it told me to put the eyes on, and then it said to begin stuffing it, but I did not do that because I want to make sure that the eyes are placed in the proper position, because I have a feeling that one of them might not be. So I better get out the yarn that I threw away, at least the longer piece, in case I do need it. And it's got thread on it. Okay. All right. So I moved up my marker. Change your row counter. Okay, so number 12. Single crochet in the next 5 stitches. You do one of the decreases. Single crochet in the next 7. 2 single crochets in each of the next 2 stitches. Single crochet in the last stitch. So you'll have 18 stitches altogether. So the first thing we do, we single crochet in the next 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and we do it says single crochet 2 together, which is called a single crochet decrease. So remember, we insert the hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull through, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, single crochet in the next 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, 2 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, single crochet in the last stitch. And I actually have 2 last stitches, so I have to go back to the beginning of that. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and then there's well, I know I was reading row 11 and I'm on row 12, right? Yeah, row 12. Right there. Use that to keep my place. Okay, so single crochet in the next 5. 1, that's why you always double check your work. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why before too long I'm gonna look and make sure the eyes are in the right place. So then we do the decrease, which is basically you're just doing 2 stitches in one stitch. Okay, then we do single crochet in the next 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 singles in the next 2. So 1, 2 in that stitch. 1, 2 in that stitch, and then a single crochet in the last one. Okay, perfect. All right, move our marker. Hopefully it's not getting too dark in here. I just noticed it's raining outside again. Okay, and our row counter. So now we're on row 13, but I am going to double check and make sure the eyes are in the right place. So let's see. So I'm increasing here. So this I think is my bottom. So I'm going to have to move this eye up here, because I believe that looks like the forehead there. Okay. So I'm going to take this eye out. Throw that little piece away. Turn it back right side out. All right. Hopefully the way I do things doesn't discourage anyone from trying it themselves. I am in no way an expert, even though, you know, I'm fairly familiar with what I'm doing. You know, any of you that have been watching me for a little bit know that I make mistakes all the time. It's just inevitable with me. Okay, that kind of looks better. All right. We'll try this again. If not, we'll be, after it's completed project, we'll be putting eyes on it. But like I said, a lot of these I just donate them, so it's, somebody's basically getting a freebie toy. Most of these here that I make, the little animals, they go to a village up in, I believe it's Tennessee or Kentucky. The woman that I give them to, she helps support mountain people, these children that have like basically nothing. Sometimes they don't even have shoes to wear, so I donate a lot of stuff to them. So, okay, anyway, round 13, right? Yes, round 13. I could start stuffing it a little bit, but we'll do a couple more rows and then we'll start stuffing. Okay, so row 13 and 14, it says to single crochet in each stitch around. So I should have 18. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Move our marker and do the next row the same. All right, moved our marker, moved our row counter, Okay, so now we're on row 15, but I am going to stuff this a little bit. So I am actually going to take out my crochet hook, grab some fiber fill, I grab just a little bit at a time, especially because we're working down at the point of a nose. So what I do is I just take maybe half this, okay? And just like it says, stuff it. So you just stick it in there, push it in best you can with your fingers. And then most of them come with this little stick, and I use it to jam it down. Like you see, I just popped it through. To jam it down in. And then stuff some more in. And you want to get it so it's fairly firm, but not super tight, because then it comes out through the holes. You know, like right there I have kind of a large hole, but that should be okay. Kids usually don't notice stuff like that. And if they do, they're probably too old to have something little like this anyway. Because usually it's just, you know, babies or really young children that play with stuffed animals. I do see some of my older grandchildren still do it though. Probably when they want to feel nostalgic or feel like they're still a kid. They'll play with the little things, or like my older granddaughters will play with the Barbies or something. But I don't see them do that too often. But the one that's more into fashion and style, I think she does it more than the other ones do. So because I can see that black yarn, that little tail in there, I'm going to try to move it out of the way, and I can't do it with my finger. So there, that works. So that kind of starts giving you the shape of the head. And once I get further along in the project, I'll stuff it even further, and it'll start looking better and better. But I think that's where I'm going to leave you for right now, for part 1 anyway. And I will leave the row marker right here. Or I guess this is a stitch, a stitch marker. Stitch marker, row marker. Okay. Or a counter. They call them all different names, but I think it's actually a counter. So I will leave it right here at 15. And this is where I'll end the video. So I hope everyone has a great day. All right, see you on the next one. Bye.